Hello everyone, my name is Barbara. I'm the Polish girl who lives in Ireland and likes to knit. And today I have a finished object video for you, which is this beautiful sweater. This is Whitehorse Sweater by Caitlin Hunter. The pattern, so if you're looking for it, it's a paid for pattern. I'm going to put a link down below, so check it out. All important links down below, so in case you have any questions, check that first. Again, this is not a tutorial, just a finished object video. I'm going to tell you a few things about the pattern per se and the things that I have done differently. Not that many things, but yeah, you may find something that may encourage you to knit this sweater, for instance. Okay, so first things first, the pattern calls for a certain gauge, and the gauge is 18 stitches by 28 rows in a reverse stockinette stitch. I wasn't sure, do I have to actually count, you know, purl bumps? So I literally make a swatch and counted normal stitches, just to do it that way. Anyway, it fits me, so it kind of worked. Next, sizes. This sweater comes with loads of sizes, I would say, from extra small to 3 extra large. What does it mean? Extra small is 32 inch. Which is 81 centimeter bust, and 3 extra larges, that's 56 inches, which is 142 centimeters. But anyway, I would say you could easily calculate how each size jumps from another. So if you want even smaller than extra small, I would say you could go around it. And if you want even bigger than 3 extra large, you can definitely go around that too. I knitted size 3, which is a medium size, so it's a 40-inch bust. Now, the pattern was calling or suggesting you to use certain needle size to obtain the gauge. Obviously, it's an individual thing. You'll go with whatever fits that gauge. And luckily for me, I was spot on, because pattern calls for US size 4, which is 3.5 millimeters, and US size 6, which is 4 millimeters, which you get the gauge on the bigger size, because the smaller one is for the, you know, the ribbings, the colors, small things, and then the main one is for main things. Yarn. The pattern calls for DK weight yarn, and they're suggesting to use Bosa from the Little Fox yarn. So on the screen I'll leave you that. And I noticed that the blend over here is silk and yak, and that gives you a little bit of a drape more than any like pure wool and nylon, or pure wool with nylon. So I knew I need to find a yarn that will have some kind of the same property, so it gives me drapes and will not be as warm, because I just wanted to wear it in like springtime. Well, to be honest, I wanted to wear it in the Christmas time, but you know what, now it's April and I wanted it in December, so let's change our point of views and change our dreams for spring. Yay! Adapt to your plans. Anyway, so yeah, so I'll be wearing it, enjoying it. I'm so happy. It is a little bit, you know, elegant, fancy look for me. So that's why I kind of popped it up with a little bit of color over there using my tags. So you could see my tags over here. It's a 2019 color tag, long one. We have a year inside, and over here I have another one with a heart, and again the year. So just in case, you know, I ended up giving it in a few years time, someone at least will know when did I knit it, or at least I'll know. Although I'll know because Ravelry and YouTube hopefully will carry on. Okay, so what yarn did I use? And I still have here, but my heart is breaking. I was looking for a bag. Handmade Bags by Diane, amazing, my friend. She distashed this yarn, and this is a fingering weight yarn. And when I got it and I touched it and I saw the blend, oh, I'm so going to cry. There is a viscose inside here, so when you touch it, you know it's like more luxurious. type yarn thing. So what I decided to hold it double. This is how it looks in a cake, and this is how it looks on me, and this is fingering, and like I said, hopefully I said that, I was holding a double. So to knit this I needed 5 skeins, two, and then I used one for hold 2 ends together. I can't find it. It's in the blue bag by Handmade Bags by Diane. Anyway, on the screen I'm going to write down, no worries, I have Reverly project page, so you can go and check all the things that I have knitted. So on the screen, I think it was Americano yarn. I've never heard of it. It's quite an interesting blend, as you can see it. It's tweed, so I thought tweed is so cute. I don't know, how do you think about it or not? And second of all, the different stuff about the way I'm knitting sweaters. Maybe on the screen now I'm going to show you my progress over here. So instead of putting sleeves on the waist yarn, I'm putting on needles like these, and I just put them in my pouches, so when I need to start knitting I kind of have it ready. I don't have to hesitate or wait for changing something. It kind of speeds up for me to start knitting on sleeves. Second of all, I'm not using a 5-inch needles. I use interchangeable needles to knit, the ones that we normally use to knit when we knit hats, because the way I found the technique that it's called lever knitting. You're putting a long needle, straight needle somewhere around your belly. You hold that needle and you work with just yarn and an extra needle. So I found that I'm doing quite a reverse thing. I'm holding my 4-inch needle somewhere over here. I'm grabbing in like that so it doesn't move, and I'm basically operate with yarn over here and with a needle over here, and it's exactly the same thing. Sometimes I found that because when I got tired, I found myself holding the needle, holding it going straight like this and doing this way. And I just browsed videos about all the way around with straight needles. So we can do that with circulars. I'm not saying it'd be something good for you or anything like that. I do not experience any pain so forth, because I believe because I have a really minimal motion, and that's why. So I'm not sure if it's good or bad, it's just I'm telling you that this is what I start doing and kind of speed up my knitting. I presume that it did. Second of all, in regards to pattern, you will have written instructions and you have a chart. I think for this one there's a chart, and I wanted to get them because it is asymmetrical yoke, which means in the pattern it tells you that you will not have it centralized. So you see this? Oh yeah, do you see this? It's even more off than it is now. I tried to centralize that, and I kind of, you know, I asked friends and they say it started with 9 or 27. I think that was those 2 numbers they were saying to me. And I did, but probably it could be that different number goes different way. It's a little slightly off, but it could make it center. So if you think that you have the same thing on one arm and then the same thing on the other arm, no, everything is kind of around the place. Because I tried to find out, okay, so do we have front and back kind of and the same pattern repeat, and it's no. So I would just go with a pattern. It looks beautiful anyway. As I said, this is not in my center of my chest, it's slightly off, but like I said, I did not follow the pattern per se. I started with I think stitch 9 if I'm right. The next thing, there's two things over here in this pattern. Not only you have lace, but you also have bubbles, and that kind of scared thing out of me, because we start top down and we're knitting, and every time that would mean that the whole thing I would have to twist to do a few rounds, right, or 1 round, I don't remember now, to do the reverse knitting. So basically when you do a bubble, any bubble you do, most of the time it works that once you finish, you have to turn the work, finish a number of stitches that the pattern tells you to, and then go back, do it again, and then you probably pointing it out and adding it to the pattern. So I did a very short video how to do reverse knitting, so maybe check it down and maybe show you a bit over here too. And the second video that I have added in regards to this was when you decrease more than 2 stitches. This pattern calls for that, and I have noticed a little bit different thing. So how to explain that? So basically at some point you will have a call for decreasing and decreasing. So obviously at some point you do knit 2 together, another one you do SSK. Obviously maybe not 2 but maybe more numbers of stitches. But the way it was explained, it was a completely different way, and it does not follow the same technique even if those numbers increases. I think I'm saying it right. So I just showed you because there was a really nice explanation one way, and I thought, well, you can actually do it other way too if you would want to. It's not included in pattern, but I did that because I wanted literally to have those 2 things looking exactly the same. I actually stopped and for one bit did the way pattern calls, and I wanted to compare if they really look the same as just a mirror wise, and they were slightly off, and I thought, yeah, maybe it would not bother me, but it would bother me that I haven't even tried to see if there's any other way of doing it. So check that video if you're interested. If you have the pattern, then the video is quite helpful, I would say, in case you get to the spot that something like that appears. Second of all, like I said, it goes from top down, and then we do the body, and as you can see, the body and the sleeves are in the purl or reverse stockinette, and what we do, we basically flip and we knit on the wrong side from that point. So we do that, and then even the ribbing is knitted on the wrong side, so just pay attention to that too. I'm not sure if something would change if you went all the way around. I think you would, because it's not a standard ribbing, so just pay attention to. And then you join for the sleeves and you continue sleeves, and I did 1 at a time. As I said to you, I wanted to do 2, but I was working with just 1 skein because I didn't want to start this one, so I have a full skein, and I still had some leftovers, although I cannot find the bag. I'm so sorry. Okay, I think that's all. If you're interested, check the link down below and support knitwear designers. This is Caitlin Hunter that designed this beautiful sweater, and me, Barbara, knitted it. So, and I'm going to enjoy it and wear it, and thank you so much for the yarn, and thank you so much for the opportunity to knit it. To be honest, I could not resist to buy this pattern once I saw Katie's version of it, and Katie is the podcaster from the Inside Number 23 podcast. So yeah, I think it's quite nice. I made it longer. I think it's slightly cropped, it should be, and I love the length of my sleeves, and I like the feeling of the wool, but also a bit of a drape. I'm wearing actually a t-shirt underneath it because I'm not sure would you be able to see anything. So as you can see, I have a t-shirt, so I'm a little bit afraid would you be able to see through those holes, but yeah, as you can see, you have to wear something underneath it. Yes, you have to wear something underneath it because otherwise you would see my underwear, unless I have black, but I have white, so yeah. I hope you enjoyed this one. See you next one. Don't forget to subscribe, like, and yeah, the next one is a vlog. I went somewhere during the week.